Well, that was a long journey. So I've just literally flown halfway around the world to try and improve my rankings on my website and learn how to grow my business. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the tips and some of the advice I was given by some of the world's leading experts. And I'm talking experts here. I'm talking people like Carolyn Shelby, who is one of the SEO experts who's worked on multiple newspaper websites, some of the biggest publications in the world, and e-commerce stores and online stores like Home Depot. So she was one of the biggest takes for me from the event, and I learned so much from her. So stick around in this video, because at the end I'm going to pull out the 2 best tips I can give you that I've learned from this event. In fact, I'll actually split this video up into 2 parts because I think there's too much to go over in just one video. So watch out for part 2 where I'll share even more advice. So let's get into this.
Yes, come on, shorty, let's go. Girl, I see you over there in the corner of the dance floor, and I know you're acting shy, looking at the corner of your eyes. So I pick my heart up off the floor, move my feet closer.
Hi and welcome back to the video. I'm feeling a little tired and looking a bit rough and pale. I've just flown in from California. It was an 11-hour flight plus a 4-hour train journey and a few buses and a few taxis to get to the Ezoic event. So Ezoic held an event called Club 22 where they gathered together a lot of their high-level publishers and a few smaller people like me to actually share some advice and give some tips and really just to make some new friends as well, which was part of it that I really wanted to do. It really reminded me why I started Affiliate Gathering, and that was to make friends and connections and have them corridor chats where you pick up sometimes more information than you do watching the presenters on stage. And that kind of happened at this event as well. But there were some incredible speakers there, and yeah, I mentioned in the intro, a lady called Carolyn Shelby was one of my biggest takes from the day, and some of her advice and tips was outstanding. And it was things that I'd never heard before. So you're probably like me, you watch all the YouTube channels and you watch all the niche website companies that give you advice about how to grow your website and get more traffic to your blog. And she gave advice in there that I'd never even heard of before. And she also gives some advice that I did at the Affiliate Gathering. And that's one of the points I'm going to cover in a minute about images. And it was really good to hear her say exactly what I was saying over a year ago about using things like images in your blog post to gain traffic and help Google see that you are more of an original source for information and content. So yeah, it was great to hear back up kind of what I was saying, but there are some great things, and I'm pointing here because I've taken some notes in my Ezoic notebook, and yeah, I'll go through these now point by point. Like I say, stay tuned to the end for the top 2 tips I can give you. One will be for written content and one will be for anybody trying to make videos or grow a YouTube channel. So yeah, we'll get into those. But first point on my list here was linking and interlinking. Now, I know that's been a big topic recently, and many people on YouTube, like Ricky from Income School, recently brought out a video about interlinking and the importance of it. And yeah, the SEO experts was backing that up 100%, but there are also mentioned a couple of things. So in my blog post, I often link out to what I think are relevant authority sources, and they were saying that pretty much does nothing to help that blog post rank. It doesn't do anything for you. It will definitely help the person you link out to by giving them a free backlink, but for you internally doing that doesn't really help. Their big advice was to create more internal links, and the most important thing was to make sure those internal links was very, very relevant. And again, that's something like, say, Ricky touched on a video recently from Income School, and it's something that I need to go back and look at. I randomly, in pieces of content, link out to 2 or 3 articles on my website, but these people were saying it's more important to make sure those links are going to relevant topics, rather than sending them to an article that you just want to rank higher because maybe it's your money page, so you link every article links to that. They were saying that adds no authority and it it improves nothing about your on-page SEO. However, one link linking over to a relevant article where somebody can read your content, click a link, head over to a very similar article that will back up what you've just said or expand on what they've just read, that is the way to go. So yeah, interlinking definitely was a big topic at the event, but more specifically, your internal linking is key. Now, another thing was touched on was keywords and whether you should actually research keywords for individual articles or whether you should be researching keywords for topics. Now, that was a bit of contention. Some people were saying, yeah, you definitely need to go for high search volume keywords. And a lot of them were even saying that if it's these low, long tail keywords, they're staying away from them. They're going now for the bigger keywords and trying to get some of those really valuable high search volume keywords. But a lot of them were also saying they don't do that. They don't do keyword research at all. They just write on topics that they think their readers will really want to read. So whether they thought it was a keyword or whether it was even a new keyword, they were just writing articles on topics they believe their readers needed. So if you had a pet website, then there will be certain articles on there that your readers will expect or they will really enjoy reading. And they're producing those pieces of content. Whether they have keywords or search volume, they was writing those pieces of topics. And I like that because that is really catering for your readers and your community rather than being kind of money or search volume orientated. So I did pick up on that and I really like that advice. Now, I know you can't do that for every article. You can't write 200 articles for totally new keywords that nobody's searching for. I get that. But what they were saying is you really do have to have a mix. You have to go for these higher search volume keywords that will get you the traffic. And then once you get that traffic, you do need those articles that they will just enjoy reading, maybe if it doesn't have a financial gain for you right at that moment. It may do in time. Those keywords that you've just written about or those new articles that you've written about that have no keywords or search volume may have in the future, and you'll be in the right place to rank for those because you've produced that content already. So yeah, so keyword research was, a little bit 50-50 with what people were saying, but I certainly like the idea of writing content for your reader rather than have that money intention in your head. Now, another thing I pulled out of the information that I got from the event was about not giving up. Now, there wasn't a speech or a presentation about not giving up. There wasn't anything specific about that, but I kind of pulled that information out from a presentation from a lady called Anita Campbell, and she runs a website called Small Business Trends. And this lady was explaining about how she built this website up over a number of years. I'm talking 21 years. And she's worked on this one single website through thick and thin. And trust me, she's had her website hacked. She's had malware on the website. She's had a Google AdSense account restricted. She's had penalties on the website. She's had everything. But she's just battled through and actually built up an amazing company and a team. And she talked a lot about her team as well. And she built up a website to the fact where, she was making on average, wait for it, and this is not a typo, this is not edited, $9,000 a day. Now, this isn't a lady who has millions and millions of dollars in the bank that she's been funded by a private investment company. This is a lady that's built this website on her own from scratch, and she's just battled away for 21 years. Now, again, I took from that not giving up as a big part of her success. She hasn't built a website in 6 months and expected to make thousands of dollars like a lot of us do. She hasn't sat there and grumbled, my analytics is showing that I've had a 10% drop today. She didn't get stuck in all that, business aspect of it. It is a business aspect of it. You will have setbacks. And we're often expecting success for putting in very little work. And that's not right. If it was as easy as that, everybody would be doing it and we wouldn't be making any success or any money. So I think sometimes I personally am prone to this. I'm expecting more than I deserve. And I hope that makes sense to you because she wasn't expecting anything. and she got what she deserved. After 21 years, she runs one of the most successful websites out there, and I think she's doing amazing, and she's definitely won a place in my heart as a human being. She was such a lovely lady, but in business terms, she taught me not to give up. And the next thing I'm going to touch on is quantity and quality of content. Now, I was always in the mindset of writing long form quality content, but a little tip, and this is one that I've pulled out again, was to write shorter pieces of content to keep them on the page for just a short period of time. You might think that's bad, you want a longer on-time page score, but they were saying you should write shorter pieces of content and then internally send them to a longer piece of content, which then keeps them on page. So I was always scared that writing 500 words would keep a reader on the page, let's say 30, 40 seconds, and then it will bounce off and that will look really bad. However, if you can then get them to bounce off to a longer piece of content where they stay on page for 2 or 3 minutes, that is a really good SEO sign to Google and other search engines. So what I mean by that, let me just refresh. So you write, let's say, a 500 word short article that says, hey, here's some news about this product that's just been released and it's fantastic and we're loving that they've updated this product and you have to read all about it. That's probably 200 or 300 words. But then you link to an article where you have a 2,000 or 3,000 in-depth review of that product or that company, or you're just expanding on that announcement. But that's the article that keeps them on page for the 2 or 3 minutes. So I love this strategy because you're in there right at the beginning of any announcements or any new products or any topic or niche related information that comes out. You can get on that topic really quick with that 200 or 300 word article, and you then keep them on page by sending them to something more relevant in your website that you may have already written, or it's purposely been written to back up that short little piece of content. So I thought that was a great strategy. It's something I've not done, kind of like a news related article. So you quickly rank for this new topic that's only just come out in your niche that doesn't have any search volume, obviously, according to the search tools that you might use, because it's so new and so relevant and new and up to date. But you get in there right at the beginning with this little quick article, but then back it up on your website, internally sending them to something in more depth. And I love that little tactic, and it's something I'm definitely going to look at. So back in what I've just set up is also another thing that came out. A lot of websites were writing kind of news articles or like news flash type pieces of content. Again, very small pieces of content. Now you might think, well, in my niche, there's not a lot of news. And I was instantly thinking kind of like one of my pet websites or my gardening websites. And I was just kind of thinking, what kind of news articles could I do? Surely if it's a news type article, you're not going to rank against the big boys, the big players in the market space. But actually you can, because a lot of these topics are, like I say, so new that the search engines don't have any information to back up whether you're the authority or these bigger news publications. So again, let's say you're in the pet niche, there may be a product or a company that's released some information that's new to the marketplace, or it may be something like an article from a veterinary surgeon who's suddenly found a cure for an ailment for a pet, and you can quickly get on board with announcing that information is out. You may not be a vet and you may not be the one giving the answer to that ailment, but you might be the one that could quickly announce, hey, this surgeon has found the cure for X, Y, and Z in dogs. And you can be the one that announces that and quickly hit that #1 spot for that search. Now, in the years to come, when that search then has search volume, or weeks or months, it might not be years, you will be the one who's ranking for it. So again, news type content is something that I've never tried. I've not published these 500 word articles announcing things like that, like news in my industry. And again, that's something I'm going to try. And if you're into videos like I am and YouTube channels, we listened to a presentation from the guys over at Chrome Unboxed, and I'll leave a link to them and anybody else I mentioned in this video in the description. Now, Chrome Unboxed are 3 guys that were on stage. It's probably a bigger team, but there were 3 guys on stage and they were talking about how they built their YouTube channel up to, it's over 250,000 subscribers. But they were also talking about the importance of having a website. Now, this shocked me. They had 250,000 YouTube subscribers. They have tens of millions of views on their YouTube channel, but they said 50% of their income comes from their website and only 25% of their income comes from YouTube. So you might think, okay, I just need to do a website. But they were saying the two genuinely need to back each other up. Their YouTube videos send people to their website, and people who do organic search on the website then find their YouTube channel, and the two run in tandem side by side. They then said the remaining 25% of their income comes from things like brand sponsorship deals, affiliate commissions from products, and email newsletters, things like that. But I was shocked to see that 50% of their income, and we're talking tens of thousands of dollars, comes from their website, which was really good to see. That, you know, video is a valuable and such an important part of affiliate marketing and blogging at the moment and in the future. But it's good to see right at the minute that websites can still be the #1 asset that you can create. And on a side note, I got some really good tips about using cameras and filming. You know, my new YouTube channel, I'm filming a hobby one about a sport that I love, golf, and they give me some really good advice about that. And it was incredible to meet successful YouTubers and actually get their opinion on some things. But yeah, they wasn't saying YouTube and videos are the only way. They were saying definitely websites and videos have a place to work side by side. So that just about wraps it up for this video. I will bring another part out and I will talk again in more detail about some of the information and the SEO advice I got from the event. So watch out for the next video coming out. But for now, I'm going to give you the 2 tips you've probably been waiting for. And that was the 2 tips, one on written content and one on YouTube and videos. And let's start with the written content. And this is a tip from Carolyn Shelby, like I say, one of my #1 favorite SEO experts to listen to now. And she's not somebody like me who jumps on YouTube and thinks they're giving you advice. She creates the advice. She's the one at the forefront of testing all this SEO stuff. And she, like I say, has worked for some of the biggest companies in the world. And I will leave her Twitter link below if you want to go check her out. I am proud to say now I kind of hopefully class her as a friend. We had some great conversations and I'm trying to get her to the affiliate gathering. So fingers crossed. She did say she wants to visit York, so we may get her over at my event and you can pick her brains yourself. But her top tip was what I talked about at the affiliate gathering, which was images. Now, she basically told me exactly what Google is looking at when it comes to originality for images. So let's say you take a image from Canva and you download that and you upload that straight to your blog post. Is that an original image? Well, no, because it has so much metadata built into that image that Google can see exactly what that image is all about. It can see how many people has downloaded it. It can even see where it's come from originally. It can even see what camera it was taken on and where it was taken, and even sometimes the time and date it was taken. So if that image has been around for 10 years and it's been downloaded by 50,000 people, it can see that this image is not original, it was 10 years old, and it's been actually downloaded by 10,000 people, which is fine, I knew that. But here's the tip, and this is what I was saying at my presentation at the affiliate gathering, that basically it's like a map. Let's say this hand is the image. I hope you can see that. This hand is the image and this hand is what Google is looking for. Now, Google has a map. So it looks at all the information on these images and it goes, aha, this image Carl uses, is it the same as this image? And it brings the two together and it says, yes, they are a perfect match. Therefore, that is not original. I've got 50,000 of these images that match exactly the footprint. So therefore this image is not original and it gives it no credibility or no authority. However, if you alter that image in any way, shape or form, you alter the footprint of that image. And I hope I'm demonstrating this. And this is definitely copied directly from Carolyn's presentation. So this is not my hand gestures, this is hers. Yeah, so it alters the footprint. So instead of it being an exact perfect match, you've altered it, whether that be in shape, size, you've added words to it, captions, you've put it in a frame, you alter the footprint of that image. And therefore Google now sees this as a new image. Now, you can do tricks if you're very, very technical. You could take that image from Canva and you could strip out all the metadata and you could change all the alt tags and the titles and create that exactly as a new image. You could do that, but I'm not technical enough to do that. So if you are using stock images, then at least by changing it in some manner, you alter the footprint and you clear some of the old metadata from it, and you can kind of trick Google into thinking it's an original image. So you can see behind me the Ezoic office. Now there's a reason why I took that image of the Ezoic office, because before I went to Ezoic, I wanted to see what their office looked like. So I went on Google and I searched Ezoic head office, and only 1 or 2 images came up, and those images had been on there for quite some time. So I thought, okay, I'm going to see if I can rank my image for the Google office. So I will be including this in an article very soon, and I'll be interested to see if Google picks that up as an original image of Google Office and see if we can get that to rank. So yeah, so if you're using stock images, make sure you do alter them, or ideally you take your own images and you upload them. For instance, you know, if I'm doing this video now and I need the thumbnail for the YouTube video and it's my, you know, top 10 tips of how to rank your blog post, I may just hold a book up like that and go like that, take a picture, that's my original image. Rather than go to Canva, pull down a thumbnail and just use that thumbnail. That one, the image that I've just shown you there, me pointing at a book, is an original image, and it took no time to do at all. So yeah, if you're using stock images, make sure you alter them in some way, or ideally take your own. Now the second tip is for YouTubers and anybody creating video content, and I cannot overemphasize how important video is going to be in the future. 100%, take my word for it, it's going to be eventually one of the #1 ranking factors. So I will, in the next video, like I say, bring you some stats and some numbers about videos that will blow your mind. And they were taken from SEMrush, so you are going to want to listen up to them. But yeah, the video information that I got, the top tip I got, was from Chrome Unboxed. And after speaking to those guys, yeah, they were saying that if you're making videos and you're just in the beginning, not to worry about quality. And that's something, again, that, you know, that most of us can't avoid. When you're starting off making videos, we haven't got this unbelievable 4K image quality, the editing's not great, the audio might not be perfect, but they said get content out there. Don't let anything like that stop you. The most important thing is to actually get content out. Now, they did say that people actually now kind of expect from newer channels, or let's say channels that's only got 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers, they expect the quality to be quite raw and actually quite real. And you know, if you make a mistake, leave it in there. If your editing isn't perfect, it doesn't matter. They kind of now expect that the quality of YouTube videos from smaller content creators will be quite raw. And they said that their audience, well, their audience is very big now, but they were saying in the beginning, their audience kind of liked that, and they could see that this was a genuine person reviewing a product. So they review Chromebooks and things like that. And in the beginning, some of their videos popped off because people knew this wasn't Chrome or this wasn't Apple or whoever reviewing this product. It was a real, genuine person. So yeah, their advice was don't let anything stop you making videos. Get videos out no matter the quality. They do say that audio and lighting is incredibly important, and if you're going to do anything right at the very beginning, at least just try and get your audio nice and have some sort of lighting. Dark videos with crappy sound is not going to cut it with anybody, but just get it to a reasonable quality before you get the video out. Now they did say as you grow, it is nice to get them nice top quality videos out there, and we all strive to do that, but that is going to take you some time, and certainly a couple of years down the line you might start looking at that. But in the first year or two of growing a YouTube channel, just build an audience and a community who trusts you, who listens to you, because you've given some real video and helpful content. So that's the two top tips. Like I say, join me in the next video where I'll share some more things that I learned at the Ezoic Club 22 event, and stay tuned for, like I say, some great advice that I've pulled and dissected from some of their keynote speeches. But for now, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.